Hello everybody, and welcome to Parable of Stanley, a game where you play a Stanley and go through a parable. I've played this game before, back when it first came out, the normal version, not Ultra Deluxe, so let's go ahead and get started.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
This sounds a lot like my job, except without the happiness.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Someone should really contact the system administrator. This is ridiculous. Where's my J key command? Look, I'm already, which one's the hour? I'm already like 2 hours into my shift, 3 hours into my shift, and I still don't see any commands. Okay, what do we got over here? My pencils are sharpened. What am I? What? Is that just the sound of left clicking? Okay.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Is that an ending? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Number one dad. You know, I'm beginning to understand what happened here. It's not that something's going on weird with his job or anything. It's that Stanley probably came into his office on like a federal holiday. So like none of his co-workers or his boss even showed up because the office space is closed. The fact that the lights are on and the equipment is on is just poor power management. People probably forgot to turn off their computers. The janitors probably forgot to turn off the lights. You know, this is just not very environmentally friendly, but it makes sense. Why is it so bright outside? That's a good question. Well, you know, I'm gonna be environmentally conscious. Hang on a second. Let me turn off all these computers. No need to leave them running all day. If they have some files running or rendering, you know, that's kind of their fault. Input received. Okay. Well, that computer gets to stay on. That one's off. What an egregious workspace, though.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Listen, I pick up on cues really well. I've already figured out that this is a holiday. The office is closed. Sales this quarter. Our sales are going down? Oh, is that an angry no? This does not make sense.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Am I not allowed? All right. No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wait, they left their computer on. I have to turn it off. Okay. You can waste power today. Mainly because you locked your office space and left your computer on.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
But there's no drinks. It's a whole bunch of empty mugs. You know, in fact, it's kind of dirty that there's a lot of mugs sitting around.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh, there are some paintings in this room. 3. You know...
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
No, it's because it's a holiday. I've already determined that. So there is an aspect of this room I do want to discuss, though.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
This step in this lounge is very dangerous because it's a pretty large step. I'm pretty sure someone at some point has twisted their ankle in here. Am I not allowed to get a drink, though?
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, so where are we? We got a nice warehouse-looking space. Do not jump from the cargo lift in motion. Penalty for misuse of the cargo lift. So if you jump off, you get fined your family's gonna get fined $6,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you, thank you. I know I'm powerful too.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so the game recognizes when you're speeding through it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, this time I'm not jumping off.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. Next run, I'll give you a chance. There's no way I can turn back now. But I'll give you that chance next run. But first, it's time to recognize danger. Danger everywhere. That's like anxiety in a nutshell. Alright. Literally have no idea where I am. This place is an actual maze. Cargo! Operator's Manual. Your comprehensive resource for use in the cargo lift. Warning, do not stand on this side of the fence. No buckets! Where's my bucket? Is there a bucket back here? Can I pick this up? No? No? Nope. Okay, well, no buckets. You win this time.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Alright, well, I'll listen to him this time because he said some really nice things to me.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This hurts my eyes. I wonder if it actually goes all the way up. You know what this kind of gives me a vibe of too? Oh. Pretty. Oh. Isn't the universe so beautiful? But you know what they say about the universe. Life goes on.
No, wait. Where are you going?
I need to find the systems administrator.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I'm not gonna trip down the stairs.
Please,
Not that
no,
confident.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I wonder. I go back down the stairs and back into the room. Does he say something different? Does he do anything different?
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Hmm? No! What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
You see, life always goes on. And it will continue to go on as I walk off this.
No!
Ow.
Oh, thank God you lived.
Wait,
You had me worried there for a moment. No, what are you doing,
had to
Stanley?
keep going up,
Please, I'm
jumping
asking
up.
you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
You had to keep jumping off.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you disliked my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
You know, life is full of choices. And I haven't seen all of my choices yet. I was not expecting to have to do it multiple
It's going to
times.
restart, isn't it? I'm going back. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, this time let's go to the meeting room. I think that that session of the game is a
Stanley
dead
came
end.
to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
This box is too small. I agree with that. Whiteboard manager. What type of using slides to ensure that employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide is a slick blue graphic inside the header and throw some bevel all over that text. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Yeah, that's what everyone says. They say I'm a pretty unique individual. I take it as a compliment. Number of slides. Slides, charts, and slides. Shift, global market, parade, monetize, free to play, synergize core values. Right at which chart is depict information. Increasing graphs per slide. Please no more charts. Stop. The boss appreciation minute. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. The stock market somewhere here, colored in segment stripes. Profits. You know, this looks exactly like management. This is, I'm willing to bet, like, when you go to any of these, like, big companies, this is what their board meetings look like.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright. Broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
It's a broom closet. You realize how much there is to do in this broom closet?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Oh, look, there's duct tape. You realize how much I can fix just by being in here?
Really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, the broom closet is very important. It's got a broom in it. It's got a mop bucket. So when you need to clean the floors...
there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, you take the broom, you put it in the mop bucket, and then you mop the floor with the broom.
Its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
But yeah, you can mop the floor with the broom, and you'd be doing both
Stanley
sweeping
was fat
and
and ugly
mopping.
and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I wonder if there's anything more to this, or that's it. I'll give it just a little bit more. You can't jump. I'm guessing that's all there is to the broom closet ending.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
The broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, I'll go upstairs. I want to explore all the endings anyways. Executive bathroom. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. That's kind of nice. I wouldn't trust a rug in a bathroom though, like this. This is just guaranteed to get dirty. Can I wash my hands? No? Nor water glasses in the bathroom. Are those candles? No, they're glasses for water. That's disgusting. Nice painting though. Yo, didn't tell you to close the door. Yo, leave the door open. Okay then. Business strategy. That's a valid business strategy right there. That's how zoos operate. Alright, so I got an elevator. Lots of options in this game. Secretary is out, of course.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
He's the most expensive boss. Yeah, no one's here because it's a federal holiday.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
2845. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
That's a terrible security mechanism. What's the point of a PIN code if an emergency override kicks in? Alright. Is this where the office luncheon's being held? You know, I'm really bad about being called in for a federal holiday, but I'm gonna
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright, where do we go from here?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I mean, I've been exercising, so I have plenty of strength right now. It's a lot of digits. Employee observation protocol. Can I, like, zoom in? If complete adherence to Protocol 2A and Protocol 2B, an employee leaves the office during the work hours and a system loop is well, you must terminate. 2B, that's a lot. What is a Class 3 event? Oh, it's just the same thing over and over again. Let me guess.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, this is just called a security room. You know, if you work at any sort of like big government job, I'd imagine they have cameras everywhere, you know, make sure there isn't any negligence going on.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I mean, if he's spending his life blind to the world, he can be putting on glasses.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
1, 2. I see buttons. Bridge that goes across. Mind control awaiting input. 5. Three. How do I get up there? I see a button up there. How do I get up there? What button is that? I think that's 4. That is 4. Maybe if I do 1, 2, 3, 4 opens up. 1, 2. Three's over here. 3. You gonna open? No. It also looks like a room up there, so maybe you come in from a different angle through a different path in the game. Maybe because I went through the main path just to see what it's like, I got streamlined.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Okay,
it's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. Yeah. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
Okay,
is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces.
Okay.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
47.
Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Okay.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Man, I couldn't figure out that button thing. I'm pretty sure from the nature of this game that button puzzle has some sort of solution. I just couldn't figure out. Maybe it's the employee code 427. I'm just gonna go ahead and run over there and try that again, and then see how it goes.
Gone. What could it? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button.
Enable
or
backup
this
power.
door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
2.
That this video game can be beaten? 1 solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer?
Okay,
How many times will you
2.
replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley
Alright,
died
what do
again.
I do here?
And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go
Feeling there's
peacefully?
an easy
Another
way to
choice.
solve this puzzle,
Make
but
it
I
count.
cannot figure it out right now.
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke.
I don't really have
And
the
believe
time
me,
left on
I
this
will be
run. I
laughing
have
at
a few
every second of
seconds.
your inevitable life from the
Yeah,
moment
so it says
I fade
goodbye,
in until the
427, when
moment
you
I
run out of
say,
attempts.
happily ever up.
So there's some sort of solution with the buttons, but I'll have to come back to that. That's gonna be it for this video, Stanley Parable. I obviously don't remember a whole lot back from when I first played the game, because that was years and years ago. But in the next video, I'm gonna dive into the new content and let that stew in the back of my mind, and if I do think of a solution, I'll go back over there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.